Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have my first guest from Afghanistan. His name is Sarwar and he lives in Canada. So let's see what Sarwar has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, Sarwar. How are you?
Finally, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Sarwar, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very well. Thanks so much. Thanks for taking time on Saturday for the interview. Thank you.
And thank you for having me. I always enjoy doing new things. This is something new. So here I am.
Great. So tell me, where are you from?
So I was born in Afghanistan. So I lived, I'm not sure exactly when I was born. So we had to create some documents for me when I came over to Canada, but I was born in the capital, Kabul, and then I came to Canada when I was roughly 4 to 5, so around 2000, 2001.
So you live in the capital? Kabul.
Yes. I was born and raised in the capital, and then I moved over to Canada, and now I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, currently. Yeah.
So now you live in Canada now?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
So right now I'm in Canada, yeah.
And why Canada?
I believe it was because my cousins sponsored our family to come out from Afghanistan, because over there there's war, right? So it was better for us, and they wanted, my parents, they wanted their children to have a better education, better safety overall. So that's why we moved out here. So better security.
And I must say, I have already over 500 people who participate in the show. You are my first guest from Afghanistan.
Oh, there we go. It's a pleasure.
Amazing. And all your family as well, your parents, they live as well in Canada?
Yes, so they're all over here. We are a family of 9, so pretty big family. 5 brothers and 2 sisters, yes.
Wow. And we are the youngest and the oldest, in the middle?
So it's funny, we have a little rhythm going on is what I've realized. So I would say it's in the middle somewhere, but my oldest sister is 3 years older than my second older sister. And then she's 3 years older than my oldest brother, who's 2 years older than my second older brother, who's 2 years older than me. And then I'm 3 years older than my second younger brother. And then he's 3 years older than the youngest. So it's like 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. Yeah.
That's amazing. And tell me, what do you do for a living?
So right now I work at Canada Post as security. So we're in charge of security for the prairie region of Canada. So that means from Manitoba. I don't know how well you know the geography of Canada, but it's from province of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, and Saskatchewan. So we cover all the security for our depots throughout there. Yeah.
I see. Actually, I was in Canada last Christmas and New Year's Eve. I just came back on the 3rd of January, but I was in Montreal. I was in the train flights.
Oh, okay. So you were nearby, we could say that.
Yes, it's the 3rd time I've been to Canada. My best friend, he lives there, and he's French, but he lives in Montreal. So he had a baby 2 years ago, and it's my godson. So I went to visit for the very first time.
Okay, I see. I must ask, where are you from originally then?
I'm originally from Brazil.
Okay, I was gonna say, you look very Brazilian. That was gonna be my guess. I had plenty of Brazilian friends growing up in high school, so
right.
I could tell right away.
But I live in London. I've been living in London in Europe. I was in Portugal before for 5 years. I've been living in England for the last 17 years now. My God, time just flies.
Ooh, 17 years. Yeah, time flies. I can still remember my first day in kindergarten. I got sent straight to the principal's office. I got in trouble. I was a bit mischievous growing up, so but I have a lot of family out in London as well.
Oh, yeah. Really? Oh, wow. Have you been here in London before?
I have not. I plan to be in the future, hopefully in the future, not in the near future, but I want to be there eventually. Yeah.
I see. Sarwar, so before we start, so how old are you when you moved to Canada? You grew up there, or you were very young when you moved there?
Yes. So when I came to Canada, I was about 4 or 5, and I've lived here my entire life now. So now I'm 26, and still haven't left Canada since. So
very good. Okay, so through the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your job, about your life, about Canada and Afghanistan. Okay? So are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Okay, that sounds good.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my love. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay?
That sounds good.
Do it. The Brazilian music, good. Okay, Sarwar. So during the games, there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, okay?
That sounds good. I love difficult questions, so I think I can answer all of them.
Oh, I love it. I love the challenge. I like the challenge.
There we go.
First question for you is, what is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
My favorite guilty pleasure? I'm going to say ice cream. I don't know why, but right now I'm dieting, but anytime you put ice cream in front of me, I have to have it. My coach hates me for this, but for TV show, I watch a couple shows. So I would say my guilty pleasure for a TV show is probably Dr. Pimple Popper.
Tell me a little bit about it. What is it about?
Oh, okay. So it's a TV show where you have this doctor who's specialized in dermatology, and she takes care of patients who have to deal with their abscesses or cysts or pimples or just have bad acne overall. And the basis of the show, the only reason I watch it is just simply because she goes in and she pops these pimples, and it's so, I don't know why, but it's satisfying to watch that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know why, but.
Very good. Okay, let's go for the second question. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, before the next question, Sarwar, tell me, what do you like the most about your security job, and what's the most challenging part?
Okay, so for me, I'm a little bit of an odd duck, but I would say that the most I love about the security job is all the new people you get to meet, of course. Over the years, I've become more of a people person, and I love to interact and meet and socialize with new people around the world. And so we're in charge of anybody that accesses all our depots or comes into our mail processing plants. So a lot of times these are all truckers and drivers that travel from province to province, or even from America up to Winnipeg. So I get the opportunity to meet all of them, and sometimes we have our conversations and you get to find out a little bit about themselves. So pretty much what you're doing with your show. I just enjoy meeting a lot of new faces and learning about them. Yeah.
And what's the most challenging part, in your opinion?
And the most challenging part now, I would say, is a lot of these drivers, because Canada Post, we deal with packages and mail. A lot of these drivers, they are always on a time crunch. They're here to drop off their trailers or their loads, their services for the day, and they want to go home or go straight to their next assignment. So sometimes we have some complications with them being gated in, and this frustrates them because it's spending a lot more time at the plant, a little more than they would want, right? So they do get riled up and a bit angry and emotional about it, but thankfully I haven't had that type of issue with me personally, but I've witnessed it with other people. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next question is, what bores you?
In general, what bores me is, I would say, sitting still. Sitting down and just being still, not doing a thing, whether it's watching a movie, I still want something in my hands to twiddle around. I don't know, I always feel like I have to be on the move and get things done. So you won't see me sitting still for a while. I do have instances where I am with someone and they want to sit back and watch a movie, but It's a little difficult for me, yeah. So it's a struggle.
Are you most, do you consider yourself to be more of a day or a night person?
Oof. I would say I'm both. I've worked so many jobs, both overnights and in the days. I just work my schedule around them. So for me, it doesn't matter the time of day. Right now, I do rarely ever get any sleep. I get about 3-4 hours of sleep a day. If I'm lucky, 4 hours, but that's because I'm always working. So I'm either editing, or I'm at the gym, or I'm at my other workplace, or I'm making plans with other people for the future. Yeah.
Busy guy, always busy.
Oh yeah. And then I'm also always researching. I don't know why, but I just love to research the most randomest things.
I feel privileged that you find a time for the magic box. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Next question. Okay, next question is, what is your morning ritual, if you have any?
Ooh. My morning ritual. Now, I wouldn't say I have much of a morning ritual. I have more of the evening ritual. But my morning ritual is obviously the same. I get up, I go hit the shower. I've started recently taking cold showers recently. That's helped me a lot, I would say, with my skin. But I started taking a lot of cold showers. I skip breakfast. I am not a breakfast person. So I skip breakfast, and then I plug in my cameras I put all my cameras in charge just in case there ever comes a shoot last second. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my morning routine.
And what's your evening one?
So my evening one, after I come from the gym, obviously I go hit the showers, then I do a nice skincare routine, and then I start researching. I go through the news. I'm a big fan, and I have a lot of hobbies. So I try to make sure right before bed, I try to go through the news of the world, of Afghanistan, Canada, of the world in general. And then I try to look at updates on cryptocurrencies and NFTs now, which are popular, and the stock market. And then I update myself with, trying to think, with new cameras and lenses that are coming out, of course. And then I always enjoy to watch some nice fitness vlogs. So I try to cram all those in before I hit the hay. And then obviously if I have some edits, I gotta finish all those edits right before I sleep. So
very good. Are you kind of person that you as soon as you hit the bed, you sleep straight away, or sometimes it takes a while for you to kind of relax completely?
So for me, because I sleep so little, I think I'm both. So it's up to me. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep, and then I'm out. So other times I'm like, no, I'm just gonna enjoy this moment and meditate for a bit. And it takes me a while to fall into my trance of sleep. But there is one other thing with that is growing up, ever since I was little, I used to be prone to sleep paralysis. I don't know if you know the term.
No, actually.
No? Oh,
Nope.
okay. So sleep paralysis is practically when you're sleeping and you wake up, you're sort of stuck between your dream state and the real world. So you understand that you're awake, but your body doesn't understand that you're awake. So your body's frozen, but your mind is awake. So it's quite terrifying for a lot of people. But I used to get that a lot. So you really you wake up, but you physically can't move. You try to scream as loud as you can't. So yeah, it's a very scary situation. But for me, over the years, I learned to have control over it, and I've learned how to get myself out of it, in and out of it. So I am a big lucid dreamer as well. So I tend to know when I'm dreaming and just have fun in my dream world. That's it.
That's very interesting, actually, very interesting. The only thing that I kind of remember that happened to me, it haven't happened for a while, like for long years,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember as a teenager, I remember sometimes I was trying to wake up. I knew like my mind, I knew I was sleeping, but I
Yes.
couldn't wake up. I knew that, you know what I mean? I knew that I was there. I knew that I was,
Yeah.
I knew that I was, let's say, in a dream, or I was awake, but I knew that I just wanted to wake up, but I couldn't.
Yes.
It happened to me like 2 or 3 times through my teenage. I remember that. And it was a
Yeah.
horrible feeling. It was a horrible feeling because I was trying to wake up. I was trying to come to the real world, and I couldn't. And I was kind of trapped in my dream.
Yeah. I know that feeling far too well. I did a lot of research on it, and supposedly majority of the world goes through this, but a lot of people also report seeing shadowy figures, or they report seeing something sitting on their chest.
Wow.
And it's terrifying for a lot of people. For me, I'm no longer afraid of that stuff, so it doesn't terrify me anymore.
Very good. I think the most you get to as you do research and you get information, kind of get yourself in a better place. Don't feel anymore this panic or this terrifying feeling. Interesting. Just made my day now. I learned something new. You see? Learning every
There you
day.
go. That's great.
Next question. That's fun. So, Wars, before the next question, tell me how photography came into your life. How did it started your career?
Oh, okay. So how photography started for me was, I believe I was just with some friends. They had a camera on them and they were shooting. They were shooting me, and I realized that I started telling them, hey, why don't you take the shot from this angle, take it from this position, shoot like this. And then I guess maybe they just got annoyed with me and they told me buy my own camera. So that's exactly what I did. I saved up over the week and I bought my own first camera, which was a Nikon D3400, and it's a very great beginner's camera. And I would say that pretty much kickstarted my photography business. So with that, I started shooting with friends, and then more and more requests kept coming to me. So I started charging with $20, and then I worked my way up, obviously. So now I've been stuck with it, and I really enjoy it. So that's something great with me. Yeah.
And do you, your business, your job as a photographer is more of portraits, like weddings or landscapes? Tell me a little bit about it. What's your main focus?
For my main focus, to be honest, I don't have a main focus or a main target. For me, I have realized that I'm a very picky person with my photography. So obviously I get people that come to me a lot of times and they want to shoot portraits and other things, commercial, but you do it so much to the point that you get sort of bored and you lose, you want to do something new, right? So I realized that I'm mainly focused on the shoots where I'm doing something new and different. Yeah, and I won't go out and shoot unless I myself am in the mood to shoot. Yes, so I don't see it more of a business. I see it more of a hobby that pays me well.
Good for you. Good for you.
There we go. Yeah.
Next question for you is, what does family mean to you?
Ooh, get ready for the straight answer for me. Family to me means nothing. Nothing at all. So for me, I feel like anybody can be your family. Family for me is a metaphoric word for those that are in your life that will help you grow and be there with you in times of need or whenever you need them, really. They're the people that will push you and support you 100%. So they could be a random stranger you meet on the street. 3 years down the road, they're pushing you and helping you excel in life. That to me is family. I don't believe family is by blood at all, no. Because you can have family members that will want absolutely nothing to do with you, and that's not real family to me. So that's what I've learned over the years. So yeah.
Totally, and I agree with you. I think family, we have bonds with,
with our family that we grew up with, our parents, or but at the same time as well, we have family that's the universe, the world brought to us. You know what I mean? Cross our
Yes,
path, and sometimes
absolutely.
our bond with those people, they are even stronger. That's our own family that we grew up with, being raised. So yeah, I totally understand your point. I think it's so it's such a strong word that you can consider family people that are closer to you, that you trust, that you see as a safe place to be. I
Yes.
agree. Good.
There you go.
Ready for another one?
Oh yes. Keep
let's
them shooting.
let's do it. Next question for you is, if you could make up a school subject, what that would be and why?
I think I would have two, to be honest. That would be probably a sense of pop culture and also adulting 101. Yes. So I've learned, I personally used to be a very, very shy kid growing up throughout high school. I didn't necessarily have the social skills or any skills in general up till the age of 22. So I was really, really shy to the point where if I spoke to someone, I would turn red and I would shake. People would call the house over the phone and I would hide in the basement. People would knock on the door as a guest and I would hide in the basement. That's how shy I was. I was afraid of speaking to people, so I didn't have those skills. And I wish we had classes in school that would help us with our social skills, but also with our adult life. So that means in terms of taxes, how to buy your own first house, how to purchase a vehicle, and figure out all your bill payments and all that. Because I never had that growing up, and I had to learn that through trial and error, as many of us had to do. So really wish we had Adulting 101. And then also, just for the sake of pop culture, I'm a big fan of anime, and I'm a big fan of movies and TV shows. So I would just have a fun class where we all just sit and go through one subject after the other every month. There we go.
I think that would be a very fun class. I think everyone would love that for sure.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Right, another question for you. Let's do it. So, Sarwar, just before the next question, of course, when I think about personally, when I think about Afghanistan, the first thing that comes from mind is about war. Yeah,
Yeah.
Not just me, but I think a lot of people that when you think about Afghanistan, it's the first word that comes to our minds. For you personally, you from Afghanistan, you are from Kabul, yeah, from the capital. You grow up until you're 4 years old there. I'm not sure if you have still some memories back then, but of course, you've been raised in a big family, and of course, I'm sure your parents, they still have, the culture from there. I'm sure they still keep it. Right. For you personally, when you think about Afghanistan, as a person from there who lives in a foreign country, what is your idea, what's your opinion about that?
So for me, Afghanistan is just like any other place. I know people always think about it as a war zone and all that. And there are some parts where it's hard to go about, of course. But I would say the majority of Afghanistan is pretty up to date with things, mentally, at least for speaking. Right now, we have the whole issue with the Taliban. I don't know if you keep up with the media, but the Taliban, they took over the country again. And so they're imposing all these laws and regulations now. So it is a little tough to live there right now. But daily life is still going on and thriving. So they're still making new buildings. They're still trying to let people go to school. Right now, though, the Taliban, they have their own views. They're very, very strict-minded. So they're not letting the women go to school, which is a big issue that I am not pleased with. And it's unfortunate that they're back in power, because the reason why we left Afghanistan was because they were in power at that time. And then when we left, they lost their power. And so I was looking forward to going back and meeting all my cousins and family that are still over there. But it looks like it won't be happening anytime soon now, because of now it's more at risk again. Yeah.
I see. So, so you've been back there a few times since you've been living in Canada.
No, so unfortunately, I personally have not been back there.
Okay.
I wanted to, but my older siblings have gone back, and my parents, time to time, they've gone back.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question for you is, how would your best friend describe yourself?
Oof. So that depends on which best friend. So I have a lot of different groups of friends, and me, I'm the type of person where if somebody throws energy at me, I throw that same amount of energy back to them. So that's how I'm very good at getting along well with everyone, because that's how I live my life, is give back the same energy that's thrown at you. So some people would say I'm very wise and smart, intelligent. Others would say, oh, he's very goofy, loud. Yeah, so it would totally depend who I'm speaking to.
That'd be good. Right, I have 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Next question, Sarwar. What is the weirdest food combination have you ever tried?
Okay. So the weirdest food combination I have ever tried will probably have to be French fries and milkshakes.
Ouch.
I saw it on TV. I thought it'd be a good experiment. I was like, you never know unless you try. This is how chefs found out what tastes good in the first place, So of course I went to the local restaurants. I went to a place called Zach's. I ordered a milkshake and I got the French fries, and I gave it a shot. It wasn't too pleasant for me. I didn't really enjoy it, so you won't see me doing that again.
We are talking about food. What's the most traditional food in Afghanistan?
Oof. So I'm getting a lot popping up in my head right now. So there's a lot of food in Afghanistan that's really, really good, but they have a lot of street vendors that sell a lot of oily foods. So I wouldn't say it's the healthiest foods. So for me, when I'm dieting, I can't have any food from home at all. 0, none. I make my own food. It doesn't taste as great, but there's foods like you have bolani. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's basically you have bread and it's stuffed with potatoes or green onions or whatever, and they will pan sear it, or you can fry it, and it's just it's next level flavor. It's so good. And then there's also mantus, which is sort of a form of dumpling. So it's steamed, and then they put this yogurt on top of it and these other little sauces. So those 2 stand out the most for me. They're always in my mind. Yeah.
And do you like cooking?
So I've only recently started cooking, so I'm still learning, and I'm willing to learn. I want to learn a lot. So I don't know if I like it yet, but I do enjoy finding out how to probably make myself a good meal. Yeah. So
Very good. 2 questions left. Let's do it. But before the next question, tell me, people watching the interview, would you like to start a career as a photographer, to follow their passion? What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
For people wanting to pursue photography or any passion, I would say is just go do it. You get ideas in your mind oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, maybe I should wait for this. No, don't wait, just go do it. You're not going to make any significant progress into it unless you start moving. So put your foot to the pedal and just start slowly pedaling, and you'll pick up that momentum and you'll keep going. So that's what I would say is you could think about it, but make sure you're pushing, make sure you're doing it.
Good. Next question is, what's the best part and the most challenging part of living in Canada, in your opinion?
Okay. So the best part is obviously security and the safety. I remember when I first moved to Canada, the first thing I witnessed coming out of the airport was the amount of greenery. So in Afghanistan, we didn't really at the time, where I lived in the capital, there's lots of rubble and all that. So you didn't see much greenery, not many trees. But when we came to Canada, once I stepped out of the airport, I saw all the grass and all the trees, and that's all I remember. I remember making a little story about it in grade 1, and that image is still stuck in my head to this day. Yeah, and then so security and safety is a big pro of living in Canada, and then the biggest con, I would say. So I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It gets very, very cold here. I don't know why I'm still living in Winnipeg, but the winters are brutal. They are not nice at all. So I think going right now, this is for Winnipeg, Manitoba, we are at the 3rd most snow we've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah. And the winter's still not done, still snowing. So who knows if I'll hit first place, but we have so much snow, we're shoveling it every day. It's become annoying. It's really annoying.
It's I had 2 or 3 guests from Winnipeg, from your place there. Well,
yeah.
Actually,
I saw one of them.
Yeah, did you? So yes.
Yes.
One of my guests, his name is Zach. When I turned 400 interviews on the show, so I was chosen. I chose him to be the 400th one. So yes, I remember he said about the code, and sometimes he still posts online some videos, like daily videos on the snow. I will like, oh my God, still snowing.
Yeah. So me and Zach actually shot as well. So we did a shoot, me and Zach, and I watched the video on the 400. Yeah. So that was hilarious. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Small world.
Yes.
There we go.
Ready for the last one?
Yes. Let's go.
Do it. Last question. Right, before the last question, Sarwar, with the COVID crisis, for the last 2 years that the world has been upside down regarding the COVID. For you personally, what is the biggest positive impact that brought to your life, and what's the negative impacts that also brought to your personal life regarding the COVID crisis?
So the most positive impact it had on me when it first started was honestly, looking back, I don't think I've experienced much. So I would say COVID has not impacted my life as much. I've witnessed it impact others' lives tremendously, but thankfully for me, it hasn't affected me much, especially with my photography or whatever. I am not the type of person that likes to hang out with people all the time. I only get to hang out with them when I'm working with them. So even with the pandemic, there were times where there was restrictions with how many people you could have in a household. But me, I would do my shoots one-on-one. And so it never really affected me. People still asked me for shoots, and I was still going to work constantly. So it never affected me in a negative way, but also not in a positive way either, I guess. Yeah, so there's that. Let me think. I would say though, from witnessing it afar, from seeing it deal with my friends, obviously you have some friends that have certain views, and you have other ones with their own views. So I see them on social media, obviously arguing for and against, saying, oh, we should remove the COVID restrictions, no one needs it. And you have the other ones saying we need stronger restrictions. So I saw a lot of arguments of those on social media. Me, I'm a pretty neutral, passive guy. So I enjoy watching it, but I don't partake. Yeah.
Yes, there are always two sides of point of views. There's always two sides to look at. So I think there's always a controversy. You know what I mean? It's difficult to.
Yeah.
It's like discussing religion, politics. The same thing, as it never gets anywhere because we have our own way of seeing things. You're not gonna make other person change the way they think. So it can be tricky.
Yeah, that is true. That's why I'm happy with my mindset. I always look at both sides of the coin, and I'm very open-minded. So
that'd be good. Last question for you is, tell us a funny story or a moment that happened to you when you were at school as a child.
Okay, at school as a child, I guess I'm going to go for the most embarrassing story I have. So that was probably in kindergarten, I believe. Yeah, kindergarten. So, you know, me being a child, I didn't really have control of my bowels, I guess. I attended class one day and I remember there playing with puppets, and I'm in front of these two other students. And I obviously had a bit of an incident because the teacher came up to me, tapped me on my shoulder and said, I need you to move over to the other table. And I said, why? I didn't understand. And then she called my mom, and she was requesting new pants for me. And then I realized, oh, I think I may have doo-dooed myself. So that's still stuck in my mind. I can't forget that. So I remember my mom rushing in with new pants, and I had to go get cleaned up in the washroom. So that stands out to me. Yeah. Not too many people know that story. So
for you, my God.
yeah.
Okay, Sarwar, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Quick.
Family.
Friends.
Money.
Power.
How about love?
Reality.
Life.
Struggle.
One word for sex.
Fun.
Politics.
I don't know why, but confusement hit me.
Okay. Religion.
Once again, power.
Fear.
Emotion.
Friendship.
Support.
Desire.
Wants.
Regrets.
None.
Success.
Always.
Wish.
Get.
One word for happiness.
Unhappiness.
One word for Canada.
Beautiful.
One word for Winnipeg.
Cold.
One word for Kabul.
Growing.
And the last one now, Afghanistan. One word.
Growth.
Okay. Actually, another one for you as well. One word for photography.
Fun.
Great. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend, one of your best friends, for a coffee. And I'm going to ask your best friends, define Sarwar in one positive word and one negative word only. What that would be?
I think the one positive word that they would give me is hardworking, for sure. I'm always working. I don't make any excuses not to work. You'll see me grinding even after photo shoots, after I've done weddings or big studio shoots. I stay up and I grind until I'm completed with all those photos. I make sure they're done and I send them to my clients. A happy client is a happy life. So definitely hardworking, I believe is what they would tell me. And then the other word is probably stubborn. I am very stubborn, so you can't tell me do something unless I'm willing to do it. So if I think I'm in the right, I'm gonna think I'm in the right. I'll hear you out, but if I still think I'm in the right, I'm gonna argue with you full on. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Let's play now. Sarwar and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Sarwar, you can ask me a question now.
Alrighty, so my question for you is, what would you do if fear was not a factor and you could not fail?
Right, it's a very interesting question, Sarwar, because for me, I always see fears as a positive thing. I see fears as like a push, you know, it's pushing. When I feel this feeling of fear, I try to understand why I'm feeling that way, but at the same time as well, I see as a positive thing, because it means I'm going to the right direction. It means that I'm challenging myself of something that I'm doing. Saying that, I'm gonna actually, now it's something came to my mind. I think that when I started doing those shootings for the Magic Box a year and a half ago, I remember because I remember now. When I'm doing now, I even forget that I'm recording. I feel like I'm talking to a friend, but their ice need to be broken at one point. And I remember sit down in front of the phone, and actually I booked 5 people on that day, people that I knew it, of course, people that I knew it. And I said, okay. And I remember sitting down like I'm sitting with you right now. And I said, my God, how is it going to be? How is it going to work that? So it was, my first shoot was a friend of my best friend. He's French, but he lives in France. And actually, I remember I put the camera on. I was a bit lost. I knew the whole concept in my mind, but it was a fear that I was fearing myself, because like, how I'm going to get that right? How I'm going to put my idea in practice, like as a reality, how I'm gonna do that. So I could feel this fear. But again, as I said before, I see fear as a push. So I said, okay, let me feel it, let it come along, and I'm sure I'll find a way to deal with that. Okay, so I started, I broke the ice, was a bit, I was kind of speaking I still speak very fast, but at the time I was speaking fast. I knew I was recording. I was thinking about the music. I was thinking about the questions. So yes, I think that's one of the things that I believe that everything that you're gonna do in your life, I start something, there's always this fear. But at the same time as well, you need to be clever and put this fear as a push, as excitement, as something in a positive way. Because if you're gonna do something without fear, let's say, it's not valuable, because it's all part of the journey as well. And if you see a fear as a positive thing, I think you can overcome very easily, because it's a positive sign. It means that you are challenging yourself.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you. And it seems like you've gotten a pretty great grasp on things now. You're doing very well. You're on way over 400 episodes now, and like you're still probably going to continue with this. Maybe we'll see the 1000 episode coming down eventually. Yeah, and that'll be a big thing too. Yeah,
I'm halfway of 1000.
Yep, halfway there. We'll get there. There we go.
So, Wars, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
Oh, I had a very pleasant time with you. Like I said, I love to meet new faces, new people. You seem like a very outgoing person who meets a lot of people on a constant basis. So I feel like you probably do that outside for your main work as well. I'm assuming you probably do like a front desk something, right?
Yes. It's the person, when my best friends, they watch the interview, they go like, my God, Will, I feel like I'm talking to you by my side. When I see you talking to someone, I feel like you're just by my side, because it's you there. It's you. I just see you talking. So it's very interesting. So, Wars, thank you so much for taking the time to the interview. Again, thanks so much for being my first guest for Afghanistan. Imagine, my God, it's amazing. I always feel excited when I get someone new from the show, someone from for the first time from a country.
There you go. It'd be nice is I guess maybe you can make that a little goal for yourself, is try to get everybody from every country.
Oh yes, that's my
little side goal.
Yes,
perfect. There you go.
I'm always, it's been already a lot of countries, but of course there's so many countries as well that still participate. But Canada, Americans, Canadians, British, I think that's the most. I think I have on my channel. Okay. Yeah, but it's always welcome a new nationality for sure. So, Wars, but before you go, I would like you to share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires in life.
Okay, so the biggest thing that I always like to live by is seek discomfort. That's what I would say is my biggest motto. I found this motto off of some YouTubers actually back in 2018. It was by a group called Yes Theory. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but practically their entire channel is based off of always saying yes, never saying no. So over the years, you've realized that, what I've learned is that the only way for yourself to grow as a person is to chase the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Chase them and accomplish them, really. Don't go for the easier routes. It won't really change you. It makes things more comfortable for sure, but you won't see real growth unless you go for the more uncomfortable things. So that's why I'm always willing to do anything and everything that makes me feel discomfort. So even with this interview, I've barely ever done any job interviews in my life. I think I've only done once. And but you messaged me and I saw the opportunity in my head, and right away I thought, oh no, I can't do an interview. I don't like this stuff. I don't like meeting I don't like being put on the spot practically. So but I remembered my own teachings, and I know I'm growing as a person, as a human. I'm 26 now legally, and I want to my end goal for me personally is to have a family. And for me, I want to be the strongest and person I can be for my children. So I need to grow myself to be able to do that. I need to be able to do all these uncomfortable things that I wouldn't want to do, so I can explain to my kids that these are things that you can get over and do, and just so I can better explain to them how to get through with life and other things. So I want to go through as many experiences in my life so my children, I can explain to them. Because for me, I feel like me growing up, like I said, I didn't have many social skills, but that's also because of my surroundings. My family, they didn't really have, we weren't really that close, you know? So they didn't really teach me a lot, I would say. I had to learn a lot on my own at 22 when I first moved out. And I learned a lot in those 4 years that I lived by myself than I did living at home. So I want to experience all these discomforting things. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you took the challenge. I think sometimes when we go out of our comfort zone, you can find a lot of beautiful things there. And I'm so glad that you took the challenge, because imagine the future, like your kids watch this interview and they're gonna go like, oh my God, my dad did the interview. I'm so proud. Imagine.
There you go.
Very good. So thanks so much for the interview. And one day when I come to Canada, maybe I'll meet you. Maybe we'll come to London as
there
well.
We go.
Why not? We are connected now.
Yes,
now we are connected.
There we go. We'll have a coffee or some tea or crumpets, whatever you want.
Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the interview again. Thank you.
You too. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.